Hello everybody. This video is of something that happened to my friend John in October 2020 while out on one of his survival backpack trips. He just happened to be panning in the river looking for a place to camp this one evening. And while he was panning, I happened to notice something strange was being caught in his videos. So when I stopped it and screenshotted it, I caught a image of a Russian ghost. Now I've been doing a lot of research on this ghost, and what the Slavic people believe, they call her Rusalka, and the folklore of Rusalka has dated back to the 18th century. The Rusalka are said to be descended from Berzinia. Berzinia in Slavic folklore is the great goddess and creator of the world, according to the Slavic chronicles. Berzinia is basically a combination of earth and mother, associated with the guardianship of the Slavic people. Unlike some stories of mermaids, the Rusalka are made from human choices and do not seem to be a race of creatures independent from humanity. What I mean by this is that the idea that the Rusalka are created, not made. It is said that a variety of circumstances can transform a human into a Rusalka. And although many of them have to do with death, for example, and it's hard to hear, but a lot of it has to do with young women dying, violent deaths related to water. She may become a Rusalka. Other times it deals with suicide, such as a young woman drowning herself because she has become pregnant out of wedlock or rejected by her lover. Others say that any young woman who dies a virgin is bound to become a Rusalka. Another interesting fact, if one considers these potential origin stories, is that the Rusalka are said to have an infinite time in the world. According to ancient origins, their souls linger on in the water until their allotted time on earth was complete. Others must remain until their death is avenged. And usually when you talk about avenging of death, it usually has something to do with murder or a jilted lover, so the folklore or the myth goes. And then it says that as the folklore has grown and mutated throughout the centuries, so have the Rusalka's looks. These photos that I had put on there were photos that I downloaded from the internet of what Russian people or Slavic people think the Rusalka might look like. And if you'll notice, a lot of them have to do with red hair, a lot of them have to do with water, and or the forest. And we know from the video that John took is it's all true, because the picture and the images that he captured of her were on a riverbank as he was looking for a place to camp. It says that in the earliest stories regarding Rusalki, their hair and eyes are described as blue and green, while later stories, their hair is described as red, the color of sin. However, their shape-shifting powers seem to remain constant, with their ability to transform into animals related to water, such as fish and frogs. But most of the time it says that they appear as a typical human woman with feet. But they do have the ability to survive in and manipulate the water. And those of us who are into this Sasquatch subject know that Bigfoot, Sasquatch, whatever you want to call them, have the ability to do the same thing when it comes to the forest and the trees and the way they use their abilities to camouflage themselves to evade human detection. It says that it is believed that Rusalki are predators. They tempt people, and particularly young men, by her voice or by her physical appearance. Once tempted, she traps them and pulls them in the water. In folklore stories, heroes of Rusalka often go through tests, and if the hero fails the test, he will be cast into a watery grave, it says. So is that what she had in store for my friend John? Fortunately, we'll never know, because although he goes on these wilderness survival trips, and he was born and raised out there, just like my friends here in the United States and my friends in Denmark and all over the world. I don't want to lose any of my friends to anything so horrific. You know, we all know that there's a lot of things out there in the world, or in the forest and the seas and stuff, that we don't know about yet. You know, people think they know everything, but nobody knows everything. There's only one being in this universe that knows everything, and that's God. We're not capable of knowing everything, because if we did, we wouldn't know how to handle it. And that's the reason why a lot of us have a problem believing in stuff like this, or like Bigfoot, gnomes, fairies, and stuff like that. But they do exist, because we have too much proof to to believe otherwise. So many people nowadays go out there with their cell phones and their cameras, and they're catching these things, just like John did, on film or video or whatever. And that's proof that they exist. Paranormal beings exist. Whether you want to call them ghosts, cryptids, whatever the case may be, that's up to you to decide. But why wouldn't they exist? Of course they exist. We have to realize that we're not the sole inhabitants of this universe. There are things that we can't understand, and maybe that's why God hasn't let Bigfoot reveal himself to us so much yet, because what's the first thing that would happen? People are going to want to shoot it, kill it, study it, dissect it. And why? What gives us the right, just because we're humans, what gives us the right to do that to any creature on God's earth? And that's the reason that a lot of these cryptids, they hide from us, I think, is because apparently they must have gone through it already. They must know that if they get caught by a human, that it's nothing but bad. And 9 times out of 10, all throughout human history, we've proven that to be a fact. It started with Cain and Abel. So, getting back to the Rusalka, debunk my video, and that's okay. That's alright with me, because I'm not out to. I don't need to prove anything to anybody, actually, because the proof is in the photos. You know, people could say I photoshopped him, whatever the case may be, but I didn't do that. I don't do that. I don't need to do that. It's just something that I caught on a video that my friend was doing. Once I talked to him about it, and he started telling me about the myth of Rusalka, I started to research it a little bit. You know, there's a lot of things that are pretty crazy. You know, it says that she does have some protective power, you know, and she doesn't seem to be all bad. For example, during hard storms, hail, or other intense water-related, weather issues, if they're worshipped correctly, they will protect the people. It is also believed that Rusalki take revenge very seriously. according to Slavorum, in other stories, a Rusalka may fall in love with a man from the world of the living, but they always end in tragedy. No good may come from such a love story, and there's no happy ending for the poor Rusalka's damned soul, it says. She'll haunt the river forever with her sorrow and vengeful fury. Even almighty Slavic gods, it says, like Perun, Svarag, Veles, and many others, couldn't stay away from the beauty of Rusalka, it says. Today, a lot of places still celebrate what they call it Rusalka Week, also known as Green Week, it says, which occurs after Easter. It is said that at this time the Rusalki are supposed to be at their most powerful, and they sing and dance in the woods, bringing with them water to reinvigorate life, it says. So see, everything has something positive to it. It's only evil if that's what you make it. A lot of people think the same thing about Bigfoot. They talk, a lot of people make comments that they don't like humans, or just a bunch of stuff. I mean, we all know, we've all seen videos on YouTube, we've all heard the bullshit, and that's basically what it is bullshit. They're just creatures that are trying to survive, raise their family, and live in a world that has been decimated and destroyed by humans. So can we blame them for wanting to stay away from us? I don't. And I said in the very beginning when I got into this Bigfoot thing, and I started to research, and I started to see, the pictures, and I started to listen to guys like Mark Abel from Colorado Bigfoot, my friend John, from Russia. I got friends from Denmark, Bronzini Bigfoot. I mean, there's I could go on and on and on. Western Slope Bigfoot. I mean, there's a bunch, and we all know there's a bunch of programs out there too. Who you choose to follow and everything, that's up to you. That's a good thing about being human, is God gives us all a free will, and we can basically do and listen to and believe what we want to believe. So my premise here is not to make anybody believe. I know that it's real by the pictures and by talking to my friend John, who was there when it happened. Whether you choose to believe it or not is entirely up to you. Like I said, it's not my intention to make anybody believe in the paranormal or cryptids like Bigfoot or fairies and gnomes and stuff like that. I simply know what I know by watching videos of very good friends of mine on social media who I trust and who have no reason to lie. So to all my friends out there that go out there to all these wild places, excuse me, God bless you all. Thank you for doing what you do. We all know that there's a lot of things out there that could hurt you, but yet you still choose to go out there day after day and take incredible footage of these cryptids. And speaking for myself, it has changed my life because it has made me very appreciative of nature. I used to be a big time hunter. I've killed many elk, many mule deer. And now I won't do it anymore. Not because, excuse me, not because I think it's wrong, because I don't think it is. The Bible tells us that God put every creature on this earth for us. So I believe that, it's all right to hunt, but only if it's to nourish our families with the meat and stuff, not just for a trophy. Excuse me again. Ever since I got that damn COVID, that Delta variant, I haven't been able to get rid of this cough. I've had this cough already for 6-7 months, and I just can't get rid of it. But anyway, like I was saying, I believe it's every human's right, you know, if they want to hunt, to go out there and hunt, as long as you do it legally, and you're doing it for the meat, to nourish your family and stuff like that, not just to kill for no reason. And I also believe it's everybody's right to believe what they want to believe. Again, I want to say thank you to my friend John. I know right now that his country is going through a lot, you know, and he's not sure if they're going to be going to war or not, and neither are we, because this world is very, very, very messed up right now. Excuse me. But all I can say is thank you, John, for sharing these videos and your adventures with me and my friends on social media. And I hope and pray that God will watch over you and your country, all your people, and all those beautiful creatures and wild animals that you guys have out there. And the same goes for our country. And to all my friends, whether you believe it or not, God bless you. And hopefully we'll have a better 2022. So now I'm gonna let this video finish playing, and the next pictures you're going to see are the actual pictures that I captured of the Rusalka. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave any comments that you like, and please, if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe. And again, God bless you. Have a good day.